Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Communications from Home. No, it's not. It's not Communications from Home. It's Spiritual Roundtable. Oh my goodness. It's like I completely forgot what day it was just for that moment. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, September 16th. And this is the Spiritual Roundtable where we have a spiritual conversation around the divination cards that I draw in the morning. And so hopefully it will give us some insight to the energy that's flowing, not just for today, but until the next time we meet for the next card draw, which is next Wednesday. So welcome everybody. To those that are in the live chat, thank you for being with me. I do appreciate it. And for those who are watching the recorded version of this live stream, thank you so much for making time in your day or evening to watch the recorded show. We really do appreciate it. We do love our recorded archive shows. We have 10 live stream show hosts here at Star Nation's live stream shows, and with 13 shows. And so we can't all be there for each one of the shows. So we watch the recorded too. So welcome everybody. I'm so glad to be back. Oh my goodness, it's been a while, hasn't it? It feels like forever. It's been, my schedule has been so that my personal shows have been kind of sporadic for the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks or so, maybe even a month. Because I was in Colorado and I came back and then we had a class. Polly Jo was here. In between that time, I had the Sistars here for a gathering on a week-long weekend. And so it's been kind of busy here. Polly Jo just left this morning. I took her to the airport this morning and she just sent me a message saying that she landed in Chicago and she is headed home to Massachusetts. Yeah, so it was good to have her here. But my shows, the Spiritual Roundtable shows, I had to cancel because I couldn't be in two places at one time. Yeah, last Wednesday, I had a dentist appointment, and then I had to go pick up Polly Jo. So I'm so glad to be back. It's been a while. And what? Rochelle's here, yay! And Deb, hi. Hello, Deb. Good to have you good ladies here with me. Marie's here too. Happy Wednesday to you too, Marie. Let me tell you, the shows that we did yesterday for Star Nations was holy smokes. I knew that I wanted to be able to offer our audience, our community members, something pretty special because it's not very often that Polly Jo and I can do a live show with both of us in the same place at the same time. It's pretty rare. It only happens, maybe once a year, if that. So the shows that we did yesterday was all about being a multidimensional being and how can you be that in your own reality, right? And so there was a lot of good tips, weren't there? And it also is very helpful to be able to ask the questions in real time. So those of you who placed questions or comments in, thank you so much because you voiced something that perhaps someone else was thinking or feeling. And it also added quite a bit to the conversation. So today's show is all about the card draw, and we are still using this particular deck, which is Angels and Ancestors Oracle Cards by Kyle Gray and illustrated by Lily Moses. Yeah, we're still using this deck. It's become one of my favorites. Yeah, I love the illustrations. And so this morning, doing the card draw, because whether I'm doing a live stream or not, I'm doing a card draw just about every morning anyway. And with this card draw, it felt like I was in brand new energy. And it probably is true because so much has changed in the time that Polly Jo was here. The weekend that she had for the class Awakening Your True Potential, which is, I believe she's going to be renaming to Empowerment Weekends. And there was a lot of energy moved this past weekend. And so I think it's showing up in the cards. Look who showed up first. Stargazer. Do you remember him? Set your sights higher. Set your sights higher, right? And so, he's got his tools, right? He has the stars, and look how they're all even in his cloak. An astronomer, right? And he has his scope. I'm going to try to get the camera to focus on there we go. And on his scope, he has the images of the planets, of the astrology, right? And notice he even has stars on his hands, not just his cloak, but on his hands as well, right? Yeah. Stargazer. Yeah. Set your sights higher. Yeah. Do you remember when you were a kid and you were looking up at the stars, right? How many of you ever did Starlight, Star Bright, the star I wish I see tonight, I wish I may, I wish I might, on the first star I see tonight, and then you state your wish. Did you ever do that one? I did. And I was always looking for the shooting stars, right? And so Stargazer has that quality to him. Hi, Jocelyn. Has that quality to him where it's setting our sights higher. It's setting our desires, our wants, our manifestations, our intentions higher than you have in the past, right? Yeah, and there is a quality about that, right, Jocelyn? That little ditty to the stars. Even just thinking about it makes me smile because we're always putting our wishes out there, right, to the universe. We did that as kids. How many of us do that as adults, consciously, right? Consciously standing there with your eyes closed, making your wish, right? Yeah. So the card today is letting us know that we, two-leggeds, should be setting our sights higher asking our spiritual team, the universe, what we'd like to manifest, what we'd like to bring into our lives, what we'd like to experience, right? As multi-dimensional beings that we are, we have so much access to the cosmos. We have so much access to our ancestors, right? We have so much access to those in the unseen that support us. And so why not shoot for the moon? Why not make your wishes known, And it's okay to keep it to yourself. It really is. Sometimes when we're wishing really big, when we're setting really big intentions, right? Sometimes it is best that we keep it to ourselves for a while. Why? Is because we all have in our lives some of those people who think that we're already have our heads in the clouds, right? That we're daydreamers, and that they like to insert their opinion about how our intentions or our wishes aren't in reality, right? Did you ever have that? I have. Got a couple people in my life like that. And so many times I don't share with those particular people those really, really big intentions until they start flowing in. Bits and pieces start coming in with the puzzle, right? And then I say something. Why do I do that? It's because I really don't want that energy entering the energy field with it. right? They're entitled to their opinion. Of course they are. But they're not entitled to put the energy out there that makes me stop and wonder, is it really true, that maybe I should do it this way or that way? And so rather than having them pop the balloon too soon, I just sit with it on my own for a while. Now there's other friends and family that I might share it with, but I think it's okay. Those really, really big ones is just to sit with it close to your heart, and really work with the manifestation of it, right? Because we all know when we're manifesting, the law of attraction information is that you have to imagine it, you have to see it, you have to believe it 100%. You actually have to feel it and feel the emotions, the feelings around it, right? And so if you tell somebody that is wants to insert their reality into it, sometimes it changes the energy of it. You allow that to happen, right? Yeah. So what we're doing, what Spirit is suggesting to us, is to use the energy of Stargazer to set our sights higher than when we might even think about. Okay, I have a couple mastermind groups that I'm a part of, right? And there's one that says that what we're trying to manifest, or that we're manifesting, is to multiply by 3. By 3. Why 3? Because 3 is a creation number. Okay. And so when I did that the first time, I had to kind of stand back and think, I don't know if I can have a three digit or 3 income, right? So we're talking, into the 100,000s, yeah. And so it was my own mental mind that was putting the brakes on it. But that just meant that I had to do some tapping around my belief systems around money, right? And we all have that. I'm not unique to that, that's for sure. But so that also helped me to uncover some of my thought processes that could be holding me back, right? And so soon after that, Ed Langdon came into my life, referred to me by Polly Joe as somebody who might be a really good live stream show host. And so, Ed has been so helpful in his information about the law of attraction, but more so with the tapping for me. Yeah. I don't know. For those who are watching the live, do you have a wish or an intention that you've made known to the universe, right? And is it big, a large wish upon the stars, right? Yeah. And those that are watching the recorded version, do you have one? Have you sent one out to the universe to manifest something that is, when you turn your mind to it and to your heart to it, does it make you feel both excited and also nervous? That almost a piece of anxiety there, right? It's that anxiety piece that we can learn so much from. Yeah. How to heal it, how to remove it, and replace it with something with a higher vibration. So the message with this card says, go beyond your limitations and believe that the impossible is possible. That the impossible is possible. Yeah. It says the Stargazer connects with the energy of the cosmos and reminds you that you have the ability to draw in support from the universe. His cloak with its sparkles and light shows that you are closer to the energy of the universe than you think. You don't have to go out looking for it. It's already there. So we're not reaching for it. We're not trying. It's already here. It's right there at our fingertips. So look beyond where you are and create even bigger dreams, visions, and goals. Because with the power and help of the cosmos, those wishes can come true. Yeah. So if you have an intention or a goal out there that you've already put out to the universe, you might want to consider making it a bigger, right? And that's really up to you in the size, in the amount. But this card is also asking us to stretch, right? To stretch a bit, to step out of our comfort zone and feel a bit uncomfortable. I'm not saying painful. I'm just saying a bit uncomfortable, to stretch into that. Yeah. Kyle goes on to say that you are on the verge of a miracle. Yay. All your dreams and aspirations are within your grasp, and you are being guided to focus on your vision. There's nothing that you cannot have or achieve. There's an opportunity at this time to heal an old wound or pattern of lack, not feeling good enough. So I'm sure that there's some of us, that still hold that kind of vibration in our thoughts. It's that worthiness thing. Is that, are we really good enough? Are we good to have what we really want? He says that angel and ancestor wisdom is reminding you that you are an incredible and infinite spark of the universe. That's what we are. We're a spark of the universe. And the universe is not only within you, it absolutely adores you. I have to smile at that one. Absolutely adores us. You are talented, filled with strength, and have the abilities you need to turn your wildest dreams into reality. Wow. So what is your wildest dream? Do you have one? I do. I love daydreaming. And it's not like I get caught out there all the time, right? But, I pause, even when I'm doing the dishes, and pausing and daydreaming about what if, right? And taking away any of the limits of it. Because really, it's just me and my spiritual team, right? Talking or thinking about the what if. What if I did this, right? Or what if this wasn't in place? What would happen then? And daydream about that. And we've talked about daydreams several times on this show and other shows about that's a part of us, our subconscious self, right? That's coming in to help us. Yeah. So here's the second card. And this one supports the message of the first one, right? So here's the second card. Oracle. It says, wait for important information. Wait for important information. Yeah. So she's wearing red, and red is a very active color. It's a very active color. And yet we're being asked, right, to wait. So there's something that a message or information that would be important for us to have as we are waiting for that manifestation that wish that we put out there to the universe, to our spiritual team. Yeah. I just want to get a little bit closer. She's wearing 2 bracelets, right? And there is a belief, especially in palmistry, that the rings that we have around our wrists, at our wrists, is a sign of abundance, right? She also has the snake crawling up her arm, which looks like maybe a cuff or maybe a tattoo. A necklace of what could be coins. And she's looking into the container that has the smoke, right? It could be just about anything that we have in that bowl. Resin, herbs, burning to create the smoke. And she's looking into the smoke with her inner sight for messages, right? Notice the stars in the background. Oracle. Wait for important information. So sometimes we have to be patient, right? With that divine timing. And I know, because I've been there too, that impatience. When is it going to be here? How long is it going to take? It kind of reminds me of when we were kids and we're in the car, right? We're heading someplace with our parents or an adult, and we're asking them, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And after the 5th or 6th time, they're getting a little impatient with us, right? Just stop asking. I'll let you know when we get there. It's kind of like the same thing. I'm sure that our spiritual team doesn't mind us asking, are we there yet? But it does take some divine timing, right? It's not in the timing of our mental mind. It's the timing to have spirit put together what we've asked for in the best way possible for us, right? So it's in that divine timing. It's in that patience. Hey, Zane's here. Hello, Zane. Hello, happy times for you. Thank you, Zane. Welcome to the show. And so we're waiting for information, perhaps about whatever it is that you're manifesting. And remember, the first card was to set our sights higher, right? So perhaps what you're waiting on is information that will lead you to the next step or the next layer. So the message here is be open and receptive to information. Gather facts that you can make a decision that is in line with your integrity. So how spirit brings us information. It's in the synchronicities, right? It's in those inspirations. Maybe there's a word or a phrase that you come across maybe once or multiple times, and you're thinking, I got to look that up. Or maybe you're listening to a song, and you hear the phrases coming out, and so we're doing our part, right? We're being patient, but we can do our part in doing researching the information that sometimes comes through in bits and pieces, right? Because our spiritual team can't do the whole thing for us, right? They can bring us the opportunities, they can bring us our resources, but they can't experience it for us. In other words, we're the ones that still have to do the work, right? And so they might be dropping synchronicities for us to do the work, to do the research, to do the reading, to make that call to meet that person, right? Yeah. And so, for instance, I'm going to be adding onto the spiritual team here a request for Star Nations. And that Star Nations request is that I'm going to be looking for a producer, somebody who can produce the shows that I produce. I produce 6 shows in order to free up my time so that I can work on other CEO stuff. I was thinking, that we could have more support for the live stream show hosts and more availability for them to have assistance, right? And so in making that known to my spiritual team, they've been dropping information for me to look up, to read about, to help me make decisions when the time comes. And I'm going to be interviewing people that I have a way to be able to actually ask certain questions so that I can get information from those people who might be looking to fill that position, right? So it's like that. It's like that. I let my intention for my manifestation be known to the cosmos, to my spiritual team. And they're already bringing me information to take a look at so that I know what kind of questions to ask those people who will be applying for that position, right? Yeah. So we still have to do the work. And even though we might be waiting for our manifestation to come into the earth plane, there's bits and pieces that we have to do in between time, right? We're waiting for that important information to come through. And having there is that word, right? Patience. Many of us have a good understanding of it and use it in our daily lives, right? And then there's other times when we get really anxious about it. When's it coming? When's it coming? When's it coming? All right, so the oracle is the truth speaker and the insight bringer of this deck. The ancestor who will be your best outspoken friend, right? So not only does she wait for the information to come through, because oracles do predictions, but she's delivering the information to us. It says that she holds a bowl that has sacred smoke rising out of it, bringing the message to look beyond all you can see with your physical eyes and gather information in order to make an accurate evaluation of your current situation. Right? So it is both in the seen and the unseen, the information that we're looking for. Kyle goes on to say that the angels and ancestors and the universe are speaking to you at this time. So look and listen for important conversations, signs, and messages that will point you in the right direction. You're being guided to wait for more information before making any fast moves. Because at the moment, you're letting your wants get in the way of your needs. Now that's kind of significant. You're allowing your wants to get in the way of your needs. There's an opportunity for you to see everything clearly at this time, but you'll only be able to do so if you're willing to truly open your eyes. And it's not necessarily your physical eyes, although it could be part of it. It really has more to do with your inner sight, the insight, right? We talk about that a lot here at Star Nations, to be insightful, right? A lot of our shows are based on that premise, is to be insightful so that you can take the information in and pull it through your third eye, your other energy centers, to get the true meaning for you, that vibrational meaning, right? Insightful. It says that if you've been waiting for further information about a choice you have to make or action you have to take, don't take matters into your own hands, but let what needs to be revealed to you be revealed in that divine timing. Then you'll know what to do next. Angels are supporting you. Trust them. Yeah. So there we go. We have trust and we have patience. As two-leggeds, sometimes we don't do very well with those two things, do we? You know, when I was in Colorado a few weeks ago, we were doing forest bathing, right? I was with Minnie Kansman, and she took a tour group to Colorado, Estes Park, and into the Rocky Mountains. Even on our very first day, one of the things that occurred is that we had a female mallard duck come join our circle. We were standing in a circle at one of the parks, and this female duck comes walking up the path, right? Had to see her. She was in plain sight. She walks between two people and comes into the inside of the circle. And she kind of walks around in the circle a bit, and then she heads back out of the circle. And all the way along, every day, we saw ducks, usually a single female duck. Occasionally, she may have her babies with her. But I had to look up duck medicine, and it has a lot to do with community. But it also, I had to sit with it for a bit and ask my team, what significance does this have for us and for me, right? And the message that I got from my team was that there was this single female mallard duck on the lake swimming right in front of me. And my team was saying, watch how she swims on the lake. And it's so graceful on the surface, swimming across the lake, right? That's us in our daily lives. That could be how graceful we are. That's how Spirit sees us. Even though we might be a hot mess, they still see us filled with grace, okay? And that when we are connected to Spirit and talking to our spiritual team, and we're letting them know our wants and our needs, that we're setting our intentions, what we'd like to manifest, right? Is that underneath the duck's legs, its feet, is paddling like crazy to stay afloat and swimming in one direction or another, right? And my team was telling me that our spiritual teams are like the duck's feet. They're the ones that are doing all the work in the unseen, so that we bring to us the opportunities that we can take as those intentions and manifestations. And that's how we look so graceful on the surface, right? Is because they are paddling like crazy in the unseen, doing all the work, bringing to us exactly what we need, when we need it. And then we can make the decision in what direction do we go in, and if we're actually going to take them up on the opportunities that they provide, because we still have free will, right? So that was the message that came through about duck. And it really does remind me of this oracle, right? That we're waiting for the information to come through so that we know what direction to go in, what to act upon. what to take action on, right? Yeah, Oracle and Duck. Here's the third card. Third card is Shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. Shapeshifter. You know, this is one of my favorite cards too. Because look at all that's going on in this card, right? Pull it back just a tad. So we have wolf, and we have wings in the foreground there, right? He's wearing a cape that's got fur on it. It kind of reminds me of fox or cat. He's got a golden eagle, a winged one there, right? He's got a cat eye, literally shape-shifting into that cat, right? And in spirit, or not as a solid being, is a snake. You can kind of see the coil, the tail, how it wraps around him, right? And you can see where the head of the snake is at his crown. You have the stars, the moon. You also have orbs in the background. There's a lot going on in this card. All of these power animals and totems, all of these allies that we all have on our spiritual team of one kind or another, and they're all there to help us to succeed in our soul growth, right? In those experiences. Shape-shifting. Transform and unveil your gifts. In other words, to be able to use those gifts even though they may seem out of your reach. As a shapeshifter, we can take the shape of our power animal, or the power animal is inside of us. And so that we can use their medicine, their power, to see something with either our physical eyes or our insight, our third eye, to see the perspective, right? And the message is, take your time and focus on developing your gifts and strengths. And here's another one that's asking us to take our time, but to also focus. It says a shapeshifter is either an animal that has the capacity to change between species, or a shaman who has the capacity to transform into an animal to go journeying. When you shift into an animal form, you can see the world through different eyes and tap into the animal's survival skills to help yourself through a particular situation. You know? So whether it is, setting your sights on something and going after it, capturing it, us two-leggeds, we make things so much more complicated than it really is. Sometimes it's very easy and we end up complicating things. And I think Spirit is here to tell us that if we slow down a bit and we focus, practice our patience, right, is that our next step will be revealed to us, and we have to make the decision. Are we going to go after it? Are we going to take that opportunity, right? We can draw on our power animals to help us do that. Whether they're helping us see it from a broader perspective, or perhaps it's using their innate gifts of going after their prey, right? Capturing it. Yeah. Hey, Jen's here. Good morning, Jen. Good to have you here. Jocelyn says, yes, there is. Yes, there is. There's so much in this card. And this is these kind of cards, I should probably say all of them, but particularly when they have so much information in them, right? For me, these types of cards is a way that I remember to be grounded, to really take in as much of the information as I possibly can that's optimal for me, right? And to be able to do that well, we have to be grounded in all the dimensions that we are experiencing, as we learned yesterday, right? Yeah, because there's so much here. All right, so Kyle goes on to say that you may have been through many challenges and lows, but now you're in a space of transformation. You're moving beyond your past challenges and honing your current strengths. There are opportunities for you to discover and rediscover the gifts and talents that you were born with and born to share. And I think that's key, that we were born with and that we were meant to share, right? And so when we are manifesting or calling in those really big intentions, right, is that we have the opportunity to really use our gifts in that application, that we're just not studying them, that we're actually using them. And I truly believe that when we do that, is our soul is shining through those gifts. It's our soul's expression comes through those gifts, right? So even as empaths, because, I know we have a whole lot of empaths in Star Nation's community. I know that. So even as empaths, we're meant to share our gifts, plural. That we're not meant to be hermits and not sharing, right? So whatever we have to do as empaths to make our lives more comfortable so that we can be out there with other people, other two legs, right? So really sometimes it is learning about those gifts and really honing them as an empath, really embracing that gift rather than hiding away, is to actually be out there and using that gift that we were given. Yeah. And so sometimes that includes healing, right? Our own emotional traumas, our mental traumas. It also includes how to best protect ourselves, right? To be grounded and centered, so that when we're out there really expressing our soul in a big way, right? That it is a gift that we're really sharing with others. Yeah, it's big. Kyle says that you have many talents that you will share in your lifetime. You are guided to stay focused on the light, knowing that it will guide you forward. When this card arrives, there is also an opportunity to tap into the power of your spirit animals. Notice if you're seeing a particular animal regularly because its medicine is coming to you, right? So we have all kinds of help, right? To use our gifts to really ground those intentions, those big insights, those things that we really want to do to express our soul onto the earth plane, right? Jocelyn's saying, I just said that yesterday. You did? Huh. Hey, Cindy's here. She says, I have really missed this. This is such a gift to me. Oh, that's so nice of you to say, Cindy. I'm so glad. Really, it makes me happy that we can be together and to share this way. That I'm here to share. Yes. Yes. You're not here to hide. You're not here to be sequestered in your own comfortable space, because that's us empaths. We tend to do that, right? And that's not to say that you don't do self-care. You do. When you need to take that break and recharge your batteries and really come to your own center again, that self-care. Yeah, to do that too, but not to hide your gifts away. It's actually to use them, because that's the only way that our soul actually gets expressed, right? Hey, Deborah's here too. Deborah, she says, these are amazing messages for me today. Thank you for sharing in your wisdom. Well, you're welcome. And actually, it's really most of my team coming through. Now, I'm going to do show all three of them at the same time, okay? And one of the things that we really learned through this show, through this last year and a half, right? Almost two, well, it'll be 2 years in May. One of the things that we've learned along the way is that when I show the three cards, the best thing that we can be is grounded, to really take in the information. So if you haven't done your grounding today, please, we'll pause just for a second before I show the cards and do your grounding, okay? And then once that's done, that's complete, then you're just going to take a big deep breath in and exhaling it and calling to your spiritual team to come to you close. Now remember, they're always here. We're just turning our attention to them, consciously bringing them close. And we're going to ask them to help us to take in the information that's meant specifically for you, right? In an optimal way, in the optimal amount that will be helpful to you in your soul growth, right? And that way, when we show the cards, we're ready to take in as much information from them as possible, okay? So go ahead, work on your grounding. I'm going to give you a moment here. Jocelyn's saying, what do you think the orbs mean in this card? Oh, good question. Good question. All right, so for me, orbs are beings of one kind or another, sometimes of the earth plane, other times in spirit. Sometimes they are our ancestors that have already walked on. But it is a sign of spirit, of a soul. And I think that seeing them in this particular card is also letting us know that it's just not the power animals that are here to help us. It's also those that have walked on, souls, spirit, that have walked on, ancestors, if you will, are also with us all the time. Not just on Wednesday afternoons, but all the time. And that's a really good question, Jocelyn. In the class, yeah, you guys know how busy I've been, and in the past few years, part of that is being with mom, and and I had stopped teaching for a while, right? And I've resumed teaching, especially this year. I've taught more classes this year than I have in the last 4 years. And one of the classes that I'm teaching and I'm bringing back around is Awakening Illuminated Heart. Now, we have outgrown many parts of that class because it was in another vibrational time, right? And I'm calling that class Journey to Remembering. And in that particular class, there is a portion of it where we remember and create the environment for you to remember what it's like to shift into an orb, to travel within your own body, right? Because technically we are pure energy. And sometimes our conscious mind doesn't know, we don't remember that piece. But those orbs, that's why I'm saying good question, Jocelyn, is because some of those orbs are not necessarily, wrong picture, are not necessarily just our ancestors or someone who has walked on. Sometimes those orbs are souls that are right here on the earth plane, moving from one place to another. Could be helpful friends and family. Those of us who know how to and remember how to do that shape shifting, moving our spirit, our soul, to travel. Yeah. That's what it means to be a multi-dimensional being as well. So good question, Jocelyn. Yeah. She's saying yes. Because we're all capable. We just have to remember. Yeah. All right. So those of you that needed to do your grounding, I'm sure you're probably finished by now. And so you're going to take that nice deep breath in. Okay. Just hold it just for a second at the very top of that breath. On the exhale, right? You can feel your muscles relaxing. And then call to your spiritual team. Ask your entire team to come to you, to be close, right? And ask them to please help you to take in as much of the information that's meant for you in these cards today for this week, in an optimal amount, in an optimal way that will assist you, help you with your soul growth. Okay, so here we go. Oh, I'm going to take my name down so that we can use the full screen. There we go. Here we go. Now we started with Stargazer, right? And Spirit's asking us to make our intentions known to the universe, to our spiritual team, to the cosmos, and to dream big, to set our sights higher. In some ways, asking us not to play small, but to be big, to be our big energetic selves, our big energy. And once we make our desires known, our intentions known, then the Oracle Spirit is going to work to bring to us the information, the resources, forming, creating what's helpful to us to manifest our intentions, our desires, and to be patient, to wait for the information to come so that they can help us in making the decisions in what direction to take. What's the next best step, right? And then once we get the information, it's actually to take action, right? To shift. Sometimes even using the medicine from our power animals and totems to be able to to bring that intention, that goal, ground it to the earth plane. And we got a whole bunch of help out there for us to do that, so that we can use our gifts in realizing that intention. It's all about our soul growth, right? Here we go. And so for those of you that are technologically inclined, you can take a screen print of that, of those 3 cards together. And so it can be helpful to you to have the energy of those cards available to you as you go about your day and your week and reflect on the information that's coming through for you, right? As a whole, as a community, I think these cards, this today, really strengthens us as a community, because we're here to support each other, right? And so they become a tool to be able to bring forth the energies that we are truly wanting in our lives. Yeah. Jocelyn says, I always catch them in moon photos. Yeah. And sometimes what you can do, right, Jocelyn, is you can get the photo in your computer and you can enlarge the photo until you can actually see the orb. And now this is my own experience, right? It's not just a story to be told. It is my own experience, is that you can actually see images inside the orb. Sometimes you can make out a face. Sometimes you can make out other information coming directly out of the orbs. But you really have to blow them up big. You have to really make them large. Yeah. And but I also see them with the naked eye. Is that strange? No, it's not strange at all. My camera and the light on it is just, I noticed that yesterday. No, that's not strange at all. There's a whole lot of people who do that, Jocelyn. Yeah. In fact, we did that with Colorado pictures. We had a whole discussion of it with the people that were on that trip, with some of the things that were coming through the pictures. Yeah. What deck am I using? Here, I'll show you the front of the card book. It is Angels and Ancestors. Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. I got my deck through Amazon.com. I can put the link in the comments after the show if you'd like. You could do that. Yes, they are. Hi, Rochelle. Yes, they are. Yeah. Yes, they are. So we're almost at the top of the hour. And you know what I always say, let's see if I can get this right, because it's been a while, that whatever you heard today, if it resonated with you, my suggestion is to embrace it. And then to watch, see, sense, or feel how today's energy or the energy from the week unfolds around you and where this information can be helpful to you, right? And if it didn't resonate with you, that's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It really is. Maybe you're the messenger, and maybe you share the link of the recorded show to a friend or a family member or somebody that you feel has been looking for the information or perhaps this kind of conversation or community. And then you're done. That's all you had to do. And who knows, maybe next week's cards are going to resonate with you. You just never know, right? Yeah. And I wanted to show you guys, because I didn't do my normal every month, once a month when we publish Star Nations magazine, I usually do a special show to share with you the backstory and all the pictures and all of that of the magazine, because I was been so busy since and before the 10th of this month and even after, I didn't do that special show. So what I'm doing is I'm sharing just the cover with everybody. This is the cover of the October issue. And I have to say that, I know I'm partial. How can I not be, right? I love creating this magazine, and I have so much help doing it. We have such talented individuals to bring all of this information together, all in one place. But there's some really good information in here about free will. It's about Julie Hedges has her article here about the nodes of the moon and the astrology. And it's, oh my God, when I was reading, I thought that is so very helpful. So very helpful. And also, there's the magazine has become more of a resource to a lot of people. And so, but not everybody likes to read it in just one form. So that's why we have it in print on demand. We also have it in digital so that you can get it from either iTunes or Google, or you can get it as a PDF or a web viewer. So you can use any one of your devices to read it. But yeah, I just wanted to share this with you, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you do. That's the October issue. There we go. So with that, thank you so much for being with me today. I'm so happy to be back with all of you after a few weeks of sporadic shows. And so I'm glad to be here with you. I enjoy our time together and the spiritual conversation that we have regarding the card draw. Okay. So the next time Spiritual Roundtable is on Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m., but we're in a special place. We're going to be at the Star Nation's live stream show closed group. Okay. And why are we there? It's because that particular show is all about dream interpretation, right? It's just not me talking about dream interpretation like it's a lecture. No, it's about sharing dreams, and perhaps you have a dream that you'd like to share with us, or you had a dream that you don't know quite what to make of it. And that way we have a chance to be able to help you with some insight, right? And someone also asked if we can add our meditations to that. Perhaps we had a message come through in a meditation that we would like to share, or we had something happen in meditation that we would like to have some assistance with. Right. So that's Sunday, this coming Sunday, what is the date for that? I should know this, but I don't. That is Sunday, October 20th at 3 p.m. Okay. And I'll put the link to the closed group in the comments here. So if you'd like to join us for that, please do. And we'll see you Sunday, right? So Bama Mina, that's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. Love you guys.